Welcome to this explainer. We're diving right into the historically and spiritually profound life of Imam Ali, peace be upon him. Specifically, we're zeroing in on two absolutely foundational pillars of his story: his miraculous birth right inside the Holy Kaaba, and his incredibly unique, deeply intertwined bond with Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his family. If you're looking to really grasp the roots of early Islamic history and spiritual guardianship, well, you're in the exact right place.
Just take a look at this striking quote straight from the historical sources. Imam Ali famously said, "I used to follow him like a young camel following in the footprints of its mother." Now, what's so fascinating here is that this isn't just some poetic metaphor. It perfectly sets up our entire narrative because it captures the literal, inseparable mentorship that defined Ali's entire life, literally from infancy all the way to adulthood.
To truly appreciate where this remarkable man came from, we actually have to start by looking at his enduring legacy. Section 1. Father of the Orphans.
During his time as caliph, Imam Ali earned this deeply revered title, Father of Orphans, and the traditions available to us paint such a vivid picture of what his governance actually looked like. He didn't just sit back and pass laws. He personally visited the homes of orphans under the cover of night just to feed and care for them. There's this one historical narration that says when delicacies like honey and figs were brought to him as caliph, his immediate reaction was to summon the orphans of the city. He'd sit them right above the leather containers of honey so they could eat directly from it. And when people questioned this incredible act of humility, his response was simply, "I am the father to the orphans."
And this brilliantly illustrates just how deep that bond really went. According to tradition, his care was so genuine that when his life was coming to an end, lying on his deathbed after being struck by a poisoned sword during morning prayers, an absolutely incredible scene unfolded. The orphans of the city of Kufa, literally the very children he had cared for, gathered right outside his house. They carried bowls of milk in their hands, desperately hoping to cure the man who had, for all intents and purposes, become their father.
So, to understand this profound empathy for the vulnerable, we have to jump back in time to observe a beautiful historical symmetry. Section 2. The reciprocal guardianship.
The sources reveal this remarkable reciprocal adoption that spans generations. Back in 578 CE, the Prophet Muhammad, who was orphaned as a child, was taken in and raised by his uncle Abu Talib and his wife Fatima bint Asad, and she loved him more than her own children. Fast forward decades later to the early 600s, a severe famine strikes Mecca. Abu Talib faces major financial hardship. And who steps in? Prophet Muhammad and his wife Khadija. They step in to adopt and raise his young son Ali. It's just a beautiful full circle. The ultimate orphan was raised by Ali's parents, and the Prophet in turn raised Ali.
But before that adoption even took place, the historical traditions recount an unprecedented, truly miraculous event. Let's step back a bit and see how this builds our understanding of his origins. Picture this. The year is 599 CE, and the location is the most sacred site in all of Islam, the Holy Kaaba in Mecca.
Let's delve right into the fascinating circumstances of his birth, an event carrying immense cosmic and spiritual significance in the traditions. Section 3. A miracle in the Kaaba.
The historical accounts break down this incredible event step by step for us. Fatima bint Asad, heavily pregnant, goes to the Kaaba and prays for an easy delivery, specifically invoking the right of the child in her womb. And then a miracle happens. The solid wall of the Kaaba actually slivers open just enough for her to walk right in. Almost immediately, the wall closes shut behind her, locking her inside. Now, for days, the whole city of Mecca is just buzzing with excitement and mystery. Even her husband, Abu Talib, can't get inside because the keys are nowhere to be found. Finally, the mystery unravels as she joyfully emerges with a beautiful baby boy. Literally nobody before or since has ever been born inside the house of God.
So what actually happened while she was locked inside? Well, Shia traditions vividly describe a scene of profound spiritual magnitude. They note that Fatima was attended to by the most virtuous women of history: Eve, Mary, Asiya, the wife of Pharaoh, and the mother of Moses. And when the newborn Ali entered the world, the sources say he immediately prostrated on the ground. Astoundingly, he then spoke. He testified to the oneness of God and explicitly testified to the prophethood of Muhammad, recognizing that spiritual mission from his very first breath.
When Fatima emerged from the Kaaba, waiting right there among the crowd was the young Prophet Muhammad, who, remember, had been raised in her very home. The Prophet joyfully took the baby in his arms, right at the Kaaba's footsteps to welcome him. And it was the Prophet who named him Ali, while his mother Fatima gave him another name, Haider, which means lion in Arabic.
Now, this miraculous birth laid the absolute foundation for a life entirely intertwined with the Prophet's spiritual and historical destiny. Let's move into Section 4, the prophetic upbringing.
We briefly touched on this earlier, but the overlap of these two lives is just striking. After welcoming the infant Ali in 599 CE, it was just a few years later, during that severe Meccan famine in the early 600s we mentioned, that Muhammad and Khadija officially adopted the young boy. And this right here was the turning point. It allowed the Prophet to mentor Ali directly. He was paying back the immense love he'd received from Ali's parents, all while giving Ali front-row access to the birth of a totally new era.
Ali essentially became the Prophet's most devout apprentice. Honestly, they were inseparable. In those early days, when opponents would spur children to throw stones at the Prophet because they knew the Prophet would never strike a child, it was young Ali who stood by his side to deter the bullies without even having to confront them directly. But it went so much deeper than physical protection. Ali regularly accompanied the Prophet to the cave of Hira during his annual retreats. In fact, Ali himself stated that during these profound moments of isolation, he could literally glimpse the light of divine revelations and smell the fragrance of prophethood. He was being initiated into a transcendent spiritual dimension.
And the Prophet openly recognized this unmatched spiritual grooming. He stated, "O Ali, you will show them the right path when there will be dissension among them after me." The sources make it absolutely clear that the Prophet was explicitly indicating Ali's crucial role here. Ali wasn't just a brave warrior, he was the designated spiritual guardian, the wali. He was prepared to guide the community and interpret the esoteric dimensions of the faith after the Prophet's passing. Nobody, and I mean nobody, heard more lessons or witnessed more of the Prophet's wisdom firsthand than Ali.
This unparalleled upbringing completed the circle, transforming Ali into a profound spiritual leader who, exactly as we saw at the beginning, championed the most vulnerable in society. Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, an enduring legacy.
Today, Imam Ali's enduring shrine stands as this magnificent gold-domed structure in Najaf, Iraq. But the story of how it actually got there is every bit as fascinating as his birth. Following his martyrdom in Kufa, legends detail that he advised his sons Hasan and Hussain to tie his body to his favorite camel in the dead of night. They gave the camel free rein to just wander until it stopped at a specific elevated plateau called Al-Ghari, a place where water couldn't reach. And that exact location is where this breathtaking shrine stands today, visited by literally millions seeking the wisdom of the man born in the Kaaba.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, provocative thought. Think about this. How profoundly does the compassion of our earliest mentors shape our ultimate historical legacy? From a miraculous birth inside the holiest of sanctuaries, to a childhood spent quite literally in the footprints of a prophet, to a leader who fed orphans honey in the dark of night, Imam Ali's life challenges all of us to consider how deeply the love of those who raise us echoes through the legacy we leave behind. The big takeaway here? True leadership is born from profound, reciprocal mentorship. Thank you so much for joining me today, and keep exploring.
If you like this content, please like, comment and share. Tell us what topic you want to see next. And don't forget to subscribe.